Welcome, everyone. Today's interview is with Juan Ortega Reyes. He's a special education teacher and an artist. Let's hear his story. How did you arrive at your current position as a teacher?
Well, I was fortunate enough to be part of a grant program in Queens College. It was a blessing because I was able to make the most of it and succeed. And my employer, where I was as a teacher assistant, hired me as a teacher. So that's why I've been as a teacher working at Lifeline Center for Child Development.
Awesome. So I know, like, one of the reasons why we're doing this interview is because we want to talk about youth development.
Yes.
So what is something about that you would like to change or see different in the field of youth development?
Well, I just want to see teachers and teacher assistants be more empathetic towards children, putting themselves more in children's shoes and try to visualize things through their eyes. I know that one of the things that when I was growing up, I always wondered was, how come my teacher doesn't understand me? Like, doesn't she see how I didn't really feel connected sometimes to some teachers, and I want to be able to show students that I understand them.
So what are some of the things that you do right now for the youth?
Well, as a teacher, I differentiate instruction. I have to come up with my lessons according to the Common Core, but specific to each child. So I'm able to teach a certain student one way, and then his peer, who might be able to do more of the same activity, give him a more advanced activity. So every student at their own level.
I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops.
Well, I want to continue in education and also expand on other outside of school activities, expand upon my art and also instructing children with art and instructing adults with painting and illustration and just all out art. And as far as my educational career, I want to continue serving children with special needs and in different communities and bilingual communities in different ways. Just continuing education, special education.
Awesome. So you're bilingual. Where are you
Yes,
from?
I am. Mexico City, actually. Yes.
Awesome. So you came when you were how old again?
We migrated here when I was 5 years old. So it was a while ago. It was 1988.
Who are your mentors?
Well, my grounded mentors that are real life, and I've interacted with a lot. Of course, are my two parents. They're my two biggest mentors. I'm very deeply family man. My two parents, who brought us here, who worked hard always and never ever slacked off, who always tried to instill in us our faith and our beliefs, our commitment to family. My two parents are definitely my biggest role models, and they worked very hard for all of us. So
That's awesome.
yes, I mean I've always been into sports. I like Rocky Balboa a lot. He's a fighter who was viewed by other people as somewhat limited, even in his just intellectual abilities, but he always just came forward and kept fighting. So he's like my favorite character.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love that too. Have you ever gone to Philly and ran up the stairs?
Yes, I have. And,
Yeah.
with the steps. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a great experience.
So we got your mentors. Who would you consider is your social support, and sometimes I like to call it your mastermind group, your peers?
Oh, okay. Well, as I had said, I'm a big family man. So my wife and even my two children, we have devotional time. We get together to just speak about family and about our concerns and our experiences. So right now, at this moment, I would say my wife and my two kids. But in the past, I've had a lot of mentors in the church that I attend. A lot of because I came into the teen ministry, so I had a lot of good mentors, good people set the example for me and they had to put up with a lot of stuff from me, a lot of crap. So
What are you currently either reading or books that really have influenced you?
well, I mean, I've always, and to this day with my family, we read the Bible, and I especially take to the Proverbs because they speak a lot about getting wisdom, and wisdom is just so important, to know what to do and to know what you should stay away from. So the Proverbs in the Bible. The Watsons Go to Birmingham was a great book. Black Boy, and a lot of by Richard Wright. So it was a lot of great books about overcoming adversity, especially for people of color and minorities.
Mm-hmm.
So that's very important to me.
Yeah. Why is diversity and minority important to you?
Well, it's important to me. It's always been important to me that people are treated equally, no matter what their faith is or what their place of origin is, their native countries. So especially nowadays in 2017, it's very important to me that we promote diversity and how the country is made up of people that have heritages that go back to all over the planet, and we should never forget that everybody here, with the exception of the Native Americans, it's the same old argument, but it's very important to repeat it, that the Native Americans were here originally, but everybody else came from somewhere else. At least our ancestors did, our family tree. So that's important for me because it still needs to be said. It still needs to be promoted. Mm-hmm.
So if we can start promoting how we play, how do we reward ourselves? Why don't you share with the community how do you play?
Well, I love art, and I love drawing, and I love illustrating and painting. It really makes me feel calm. At the same time, it excites me. I love when I'm painting and I get to create a whole different world in the painting. It really is unlimited, and anyone who paints or draws, it's really a superpower, and that's how I get it to play, by painting and creating art and teaching other people how to create art as well, or helping them develop their skills, because everybody has it in them if they really put it to use.
For us to do. What did you mean by unlimited? Art's unlimited.
Well, art has almost no rules, and you can, even with just two colors, you could create a whole variation of colors in a painting. So if you take blue and red, you could create many colors and draw a whole scenery. You could create your own universe, really, with art. And that sounds like out there, but
I like it.
It's true, and when I do my art, my paint nights, I always tell them that there's no rules, that if their painting looks different than mine at the end, that's awesome. It doesn't have to look exactly like mine. Even the one that I make today doesn't look like the same I made yesterday. Even if it's the same image, it's going to look somewhat different. There's no rules, and you get to create your own world.
All right, so the last question is really, what's your life philosophy? And at the same time, what is the one piece of advice you would give to people out there who want to become teachers?
I believe in counting your blessings, but also enjoying your blessings, taking advantage of everything that you have, embracing everything that you have, which is, of course, most importantly, the people that love you, the people that you love, the people that care about you, and to never take those people for granted,
As many.
One thing I always tell my assistants when we start working is to never take anything personal that happens with the students, because what they're doing many times is trying to get attention from you, and they're gonna get it any which way they can. So when they do something that might be very difficult to deal with, you have to put yourself apart from the situation. Look at it from the outside looking in, so that it won't you won't ever react with any personal feelings, because then it becomes you against the student. So that's a big advice, a big piece of advice I would say to people that are going into special education and dealing with children that are very active. So I would definitely tell people to look inside and to take a deep breath, and the same thing I tell myself every time, because I have to still tell myself a lot of times that what just happened, that's not personal, that student has a lot of needs that need to be met, and I'm the one that's in front of him, I have to deal with it. And you make the impact in their lives. So you play a big role in their immediate life at the moment, but other than that, it's really about their needs.
And that wraps up an interview with Juan, a man of many talents, huge compassion and love for the youth and for his art. What a great way to combine both. At his paint nights, check him out on Facebook at Juan Scribe, a true superstar. And as always, please leave your love, comments, and likes for Juan. And thanks for watching.